Today we're going to do the flame test lab. Okay? Our objectives are to justify that electrons are moving from the excited state back down to the ground state using evidence of the colors of the light that's emitted. So you'll see different colors each time we test one of our samples. Our next objective is then going to be to determine if the cation from the metal or the anion from the nonmetal are responsible for the colors that we're going to see. Okay? So before we actually get started, you need to create your own data table. Okay? You need to have room for 6 different compounds that we're testing. Okay? You need to make sure that your data table is numbered and titled, and that each column has its own title as well. As you are copying down your observations, you want to be as descriptive as possible of the different colors, and you also want to make sure you make additional observations outside of just the colors that are emitted. Okay, so first thing you want to do is make sure you have a nice clean ceramic well plate. So this is a ceramic well plate that we cleaned. You want to make sure there's no contaminants before you use anything. Okay, I'm going to make 6 solutions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 right across. Okay, and I'm going to keep them in nice order so we can keep track of them. The first one we're going to use is copper 2 chloride. Okay, so we have a nice clean scopula here. Okay, we're going to take just a little bit, we don't need a lot, and put it in our first well plate. Before we move on to the next one, we're going to rinse our scopula, dry it, and then use the next compound. We don't want to contaminate between the different ones. Okay, our next substance is sodium chloride. Okay. Just a tiny bit. Cap on, rinse, and dry. Okay. Next one we have is lithium chloride. You never want to leave a bottle open if you aren't using it. Okay. Fourth, we have calcium chloride. This one's a whole bunch of little chips. Once you take out of a bottle, you never want to put back in. Maybe we can get them some lab. Okay, now we have strontium chloride. This one in our 5th one. Okay, and lastly we have potassium chloride. I like this one. Into the well plate. Okay, so the first one here is copper 2 chloride. Okay. So you want to make some additional observations. Okay. Our next one is sodium chloride. Okay. Our third one is lithium chloride. Fourth one looks a little different. It's calcium chloride. Okay. Number 5 down here, okay, is strontium chloride. And our last one we have is our potassium chloride. So you want to make some additional observations. So now we're going to add a little bit of deionized water to each of our well plates, just to make them into a solution. So now we're going to set this aside so we can light our burner. Before I light my burner, I want to make sure that I have nothing dangling, my hair is tied back, got my goggles on, and I took off my key so that it doesn't dangle. Okay, so we'll gently move these over. Oh, pull my sleeves up so we don't dangle. Thank you. Okay, we've got our wooden splints ready to go. Our gas is turned on. We want to put our burner on. Make sure that it's adjusted well. We've got our flint. Okay. Turn our gas on. Okay, so this is on. On. Hold it to the side and light it. Okay. So this looks good. We want a nice blue inner cone flame and as limited amount of orange as possible. So first shot, pretty good. Copper 2 chloride. Sodium chloride. Oh, that's a good one. Lithium chloride. Oh, yeah. Okay. Calcium chloride. Strontium chloride. Potassium chloride.